Alrighty, I'm going to review the warm-up, which was doing CRUD on a single resource. Just kind of walk through it, ask you guys for input, and I think I will try to deploy too, depending on how much time it takes. I don't want to be here for more than like 20, 25 minutes. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to use the same app that I started doing auth inside of. So I have this index.js. This has a basic sign-up route right now. But in routes here is where I'm actually going to create my resource routes. So my database is with donuts. Like if you look at my connects file, it's a donut party. So the first thing I would do is actually create a new route file for it. So create a file, call it donut.js. Inside of here, we just need a basic router like that. And this should be ES6ified. And yeah, let's just see if this is working. So let's res.json this hello from Express. So created a file donut.js in my routes folder. Now I need to actually mount that in app.js. So in here, I can require it in. So var donut equals require routes/donut. And then I can mount it. So right here, I can say app.use. We'll say /donut is the donut router. So now when I request /donut, I should see hello from Express. So let's try that with Postman. Do a new one. So localhost 3000/donut. I have to start up my Express app first. There we go, hello from Express. So I've got the basic router. It's mounted at /donut. Now we can start doing some CRUD stuff. So I'm actually going to create this in queries. Yeah, and here's what I'm going to do. This might be a little weird, but I don't want to mix up these user queries with the donut queries that I'm about to create. I could put them in this file. I'm going to put them in this file. So on this module.exports, I'm going to create a property called donut that itself is an object. And donut will then have all those methods that I care about. So the first one I want is like get all. And so that's a function. Accepts no parameters, just returns connects on the donut table. That should be it. So it basically selects star from donut, and that'll give us all of the donuts. So in the route, I can actually require in our queries in here. So say const query equals require db/query.js. But remember, I created this donut property, so I should be able to say query.donut.getAll.then. This should give me some donuts. And then I should be able to res.json those donuts. So now when I get /donut, we're getting data from the database. So that's our read all. We also need read one. So this would be donut/id. And then I'll create a query that says get one, and in there I'll pass rec.params.id. So now I need a query for get one. This is going to return the donut table where I'm passing in the ID. So where ID is equal to ID, and I want the first one. So over here, get one, this is just going to be a single donut, so respond with that single donut. So now, if I request ID 2, I should see yeast small. There it is. And I could do ID 3, ID 4, and we're getting back a specific one. So that's read. Now we could do create. So read all, read one. We will create one. Creating one is a post request against the entity. So This would be a post request against /donut to create a donut. So I'll do donut.create and just pass in rec.body. I should do validation. I think I'll do it without validation first, and then maybe we can go back. But the idea is rec.body has all the properties of a donut, so then we can try to create it. So over here, I'll create a create method that accepts the donut, and then it inserts it. So connects donut table dot insert. We want to insert that donut and return everything, so we can just respond with it. Then we will get back, I'll call it donuts, because when you insert, you're actually getting back an array, even though we're only inserting one thing. So what I really want is to return donuts at 0. So over here, we create the donut with rec.body, and then we respond with that donut. So yeah, let's try to make a donut. So we'll make a post request against /donut, and we will set up our body to be raw JSON. And in here, we can define a donut that we want to send. So I'll use that as sample data, but let's give this another type. It's a good type of donut.
Angel cream.
Whole.
Krispy Kreme.
We'll go with donut whole. Whole. The type is whole. And small holes. We'll go with glaze and no filling. And it's for user ID too. We definitely don't want to send the ID because that's going to get automatically created for us. But we're making a post request, again, to /donut. We're sending it all of these properties, and so that should be inserted into the database, and then I should get a response that has the inserted ID.
I got a CJ. That was the, Once I got past that part where I was stuck at.
That was the one?
Finished. Yep, that was it. So I got all of them now.
Solid. That's it? Sweet. So that has ID 6. I could keep doing this and it has like a new ID, but now I just have a bunch of donut holes in my database. And so now if I do a GET request to /, we can see all those donut holes that I added. Of course, we could do some validation, like make sure it has a filling and a title property and all that, but we won't do that now. So create, read. We also need update. Actually, I'll do delete because that's really easy. In terms of RESTful routing, a delete is against /. So we'll say rec.query, /ID, because you're deleting the entity that has that ID. What happened?
It's up.
It's up. Cool. So we'll say donut.delete and pass in rec.params.id. That'll give us back nothing. And then we'll just res.json, like a message. Is there like a trash can? Wastebasket. So if it was deleted, you'll get a message that says that it was. So now we need that query. So over here, I'll do delete, takes in an ID. And we want to do this. So get a donut where its ID is that and delete it. So that should do it. So now when we do so let's delete ID 17. So when we do a delete request to ID 17, send it, get back our wastebasket, and now if I do a GET request for all, ID 17 is no longer there. So delete is working. Lastly, we need to update one. Create, read, update one. So update a resource with a specific ID, and this is usually a put request. Here we'll say donut.update. This should just give us back the updated donut, and we'll respond with the updated donut. So we'll create another query for update. Takes in the ID. Oh no. Takes in the ID and the new properties, right? Because the body of the update. So update the donut that has this ID using the information in the body of the request. So here we'll return connects donut where ID is ID, and we want to update donut, returning everything. We want to do a similar thing we did with inserting, where we just return that one donut that was updated. Update. So grab the donut with that ID, pass in those values that came from the body, and then respond with the newly updated values. So let's update this one with the ID 19. So we'll do a put request to donut/19, and the body is going to look like this. So I'm not passing the ID in because we already know it's ID 19. But let's just say the size is now medium. Send a put request. It came back as medium. And so now if I do a get request to donut/19, the size has been updated to medium. Similarly with, we could put 18, change the body. Give it a type of, you said something about an angel? What was?
Angel cream, not cream.
Angel.
It's like a super sweet version of the cream with stuff.
Is that how you spell angel, or is that angle?
A-N-G-E-L.
Angel. Cream cheese. So now the donut with ID 18 is going to be angel cream now. So if we were to get all donuts, the one with ID 18 is angel cream. So that's basic CRUD. Questions on what I have done here?
I think I just forgot to like break my thing up.
I think it's the little things that you have to go back to to the docs or even like an old project, because it's like all the little steps in between.
I was looking at an old project and comparing, and it all looked right. I think it was just that I should have broken it up into two. I just did it all in the
Same router or same repo? Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't know, just it wasn't working properly. But all my routes looked good. Everything looked right. Postman wasn't getting any feedback, and then it did. And then when I tried to do other things with it, it wasn't working. So this is one of those things where I asked 3 people, and they're like, I have no idea either. So.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I would just kind of start from the beginning, like go to your app.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do it all from scratch.
But if you go to your app.js, comment out any use statements or anything like that. Make sure you have just one and see if you can at least get one route working.
Yeah.
Kind of take it from that approach.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna bring it up and do it this exact way this weekend.
Cool.
See what happens.
Would you guys like to see me try to deploy it?
Yes.
No? Yeah.
Can I,
I feel like I know how to deploy it. Just
I think I'll do it for the video's sake. I guess because we've only been here a few minutes. Let's do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember.
Let's do it. So right inside of here, I'm going to Heroku create. Sweet. Got myself an app. I honestly don't know all the commands. I typically just do it from the dashboard.
I can tell you all of them.
Cool. But I guess I will show kind of like how you would do this from the dashboard. Only thing is, what account am I logged in as? Oh, no. Oh, well, yeah, I'm not going to use the dashboard because I'm not
And
logged in.
then after you do Heroku create,
Mhm.
it's Heroku add-ons. And then :create Heroku dash Postgres. That's the
Like that?
Yep.
Cool. So that's going to add our Postgres database to our app. No app specified. Oh, this is not a Git repo, and so when I did Heroku create, it didn't actually put the name on there. That's fine though. So let me just do git init. I will create a git ignore file if it doesn't exist. Git.
Git ignore together is a tricky word.
So this global package that I'm installing right now, git ignore, it lets you generate git ignore files. So if I say git ignore node, come on. Oh, is it not? No, I did the wrong global command. So yarn global add git ignore.
And then you can just say put your node modules right in it.
Well, when you, I'll show you what happens. So right now, do I have a git ignore? Yeah, right now, well, I guess I do. I might have already done this. Doesn't matter. Let me delete it. So let's say I have this new project, I don't have a git ignore. If you install that command and then say git ignore, you then specify the type of project. In our case, the type of project is node, and that actually generates the file. And if I look in there, these are like all the common things that you would want to ignore, and node modules is right there. Yeah. So let's add everything. I don't have any envs or anything. It's fine. And then we will yeah, and then -- app, I can do whispering sans 21720. So Heroku -- app. Cool.
And then you need to, you're not
So-
going to use a database URL because it's like,
Is Heroku use a command? Because, so here's what happened. Because I didn't have that git repo before I ran those Heroku commands, now when I do git remote -v, I don't have a Heroku remote. So it's like it doesn't even know what app I'm talking to. Let me see how to hook this up to the actual app. Heroku.
and you don't have a .env file, so you don't even know this is
Yeah, and actually, I think it's a good thing that I'm doing this because I created my database in a totally separate repo. So I'm going to show how I create my Heroku deploy here and then actually seed my database from the other repo. I'll just Google it. Heroku add remote, something like that. Oh, it's going to be .project.git. So if I do git remote add Heroku, not that. Well, I guess it is that. But it's going to be git at heroku.com project name .git. Cool. So I've got that. I have my database add-on. If I do Heroku config, that shows me my database URL. Sweet, there's my database URL. And that worked because after I added that remote, I now have the actual Heroku remote. So this is what I need to use to like seed and migrate that database. So in another window, I'm going to go to my warmup from Monday. Yeah, and so this is the one that has my actual migrations and seeds. So in here is where I'll actually create my .env file and production connection and everything. So create a .env. Right here, say database URL equals that thing. And then I need a production connection string. So that, but instead process, well, this is production. This is process.env.database URL plus SSL. It's true. And now I'm going to run my migrations locally, so I need to bring in my .env file. So in this warmup, I'm going to add .env. I'll require it in up here and load those values in. And so now I have, so this is a totally separate project than the one I actually have my Express code in, but this has my migrations and seeds. So in here, I have a .env file that actually is pointing to my Heroku database. In here, I'm bringing that connection in, so I should be able to run those migrations and seeds on Heroku. Let's try it. So from here, I can do, let's see, connects, migrate, latest, production. So that's going to use that production connection string. Let's see what happens. Sweet. Those ran. How do I, is it Heroku pSQL? Heroku run pSQL? Yeah. Oh, that's trying to run the command. That's the one. Okay. Now if I list relations, there's donut and there's user. If I describe donut, yep, looking good. So now I need to run those seeds. So over here, I'm going to do alrighty. So same thing will happen. Now we're actually talking to the production database. Sweet. If I go back over here and we run pSQL again, and we do table donut, got ourselves some data in a remote database. Sweet. So the data is seeded and migrated. Now I need to like add, commit everything, and just push up the server-side code. So let's look at this guy. That start script looks good. I think we're ready to deploy. Let's see what happens. So let's add everything, commit it. Git push Heroku master. Node.js app detected. That's a good thing. It's working. Alrighty, let's see if it worked. Application error, oh no. Ooh, okay, so let's debug it, see what we did wrong. So if you do Heroku logs-t, that's gonna like tell the logs. We can see what the error is right here. So right about here. Has something to do with the connects configuration. Yeah. So when it's trying to load up appdb connects.js, yeah. Let's double check what I got going on in there. So if I look in my connects.js, process.env.node.env should be production. Oh, I updated my connects file in my database repo. I didn't update it in my server repo. So I actually need to add that same database, that same production connection on this repo. So this should be production, and then this should just be process.env.database URL SSL equals true.
What was the difference before?
So before, I literally didn't have that at all because this connects file is separate.
On your front end.
Oh yeah, so on my server side,
On your server side.
because my database repo had this connection file, but I didn't update it over here.
Okay.
So now I've added the connection. I should add, commit, repush. Deploy. Well, that was cool. So one thing you can do is if you do Heroku logs-t, that means the logs are just going to sit there running. So when I actually make the request in my browser, I can see that request coming in to the server. So if I refresh this, I saw that request come in. It worked. I'm at /, and if I do /donut, it works. I can do the donuts. I can go to /donut/3, get a single donut. We could put some post requests against it, but we've CRUD'd. We've done it. Questions or comments about the last thing I did there?
I actually do it a couple times.
I'm good. Sweet.
Simple enough.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll share this code like Friday or something, but goodbye.